With this movie, there was funny moments, there was heartbreak, there was loss, but honestly, bro, it feels like they really understood like how we felt as fans. Oh, just me thinking about it right now, I'm not ready for it. Like, I felt so relieved that this is actually happening, bro. Like, this is actually happening. What's going on, team? It's your boy G. We back at it again with another episode of the G Files, man. Today's episode, we're going to be covering the most important movie of 2021. That is Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm super geeked to talk about this, man. I wanted to go see that joint Thursday. That joint went crazy. But before we get into the actual episode, I need you guys to do me one huge favor, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 400 subscribers, man. Any bit of support is greatly appreciated. You can be watching anything on YouTube right now. Be sure to check this video out. So I appreciate y'all. Without further ado, let's jump into the vid. Alright, y'all. So Spider-Man No Way Home, man. The perfect Spider-Man live action movie. The best Spider-Man live action movie to ever come out, man. This movie blew my expectations off the roof, like off the roof, bro. It's been a few days since I didn't actually seen the movie because I didn't want to just come in here and just with straight hype. I wanted to actually think about what I saw and just think about how I feel about just the overall Spider-Man mythos, right, for a live action, because we got all three Spider-Man in this movie, man. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, bruh. In that order. That's the order of Spider-Man, bruh. Low key, I ain't gonna cap. But this movie was so great, bruh, because not only do you have all three Spider-Man, but we got closure, bruh. And I think that's one of the major things that a lot of times are missing from, these superhero franchises, and mainly with like just villains and things like that, of just, having one moment and then just proceeding to move on to the next, right? We don't really a lot of times get to reflect on what we actually saw and what actually happened, unless it's in conversations and videos like this. But with this movie, there was funny moments, there was heartbreak, there was loss, there was growth that I wasn't really like expecting at the level that we got it, man. Maybe it's because going into this movie I was a little anxious, knowing like what this movie could really do. But honestly, bro, it feels like they really understood like how we felt as fans. They understood the little nuances and the little cultural pieces that get added on to a movie, after it's been out for what, 10 years or stuff like that. Like, we grew up watching this stuff, at least my generation did, right? Like, I remember going to see the first Spider-Man. I remember how it felt hearing Green Goblin, and it felt like we just picked up right after those moments. Like, no time had passed at all, bro. It was really crazy. Like, the nostalgia level for this movie was on 1,000, bro. But along with that nostalgia, there was also moments where I just felt like free. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, I felt just like the whole world kind of just opened up, right? Because with a lot of moments in this movie, I felt like they were kind of just like in my brain, right? The way that I felt about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, they brought that up, right? Some of the moments from the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, like, there's a certain calmness that Tobey brings to the screen that is just like, it's different. I don't know, man. I just feel like everybody had their moment to shine and really had an opportunity to really grow into not only their character, but also allow those moments to impact us as a viewer as well. I'm gonna be real, bro, and there's not a lot of things that I didn't like about this movie. Like, there is literally almost none. To me, the only real gripe or issue that I have about this movie was just some of the things that I was looking forward to seeing from each Spider-Man, right? I wanted them to all have signature moments, and they definitely did. Like I said, they all have moments where it was like, okay, yes, they were made for this, right? When it comes to like the way that they fight and their different fighting styles, I wish that some of the stuff we know and love from the previous franchises, from the way that Tobey interacts and uses the environment and in his movies, to Andrew Garfield acting like an actual spider while he's fighting, like being able to wrap people up. And yes, I understand they probably didn't want to recycle content in a sense, but I just wish they could have innovated in a way that it would have been easy to discern like who was who, just based off of the way that they fought, right? I think that would have been a little bit cooler of a thing to see, but I'm not mad at what we actually got, because it still went crazy at the end of the day. Like, throughout this movie, bro, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was geeked out, bro. Like, and when we finally saw all three Spider-Man together, or even just Andrew Garfield initially, you know, his introduction into the movie, I felt so relieved that this is actually happening, bro. Like, this is actually happening. Like, I understand, bro. I understand that we saw the trailer and we saw moments where, like, you know, obviously this is, you know, duped or whatever, so that, you know, we don't get spoiled or they keep all of the reveals a secret. But, bro, like, there's only a few moments in just, you know, Marvel Cinematic history that could not only just almost top that, but also even come close, you know what I'm saying, to how I felt in this moment and throughout this interaction, right? And this is like not even necessarily like an action scene, right? This is literally just an introduction. And I'm not even speaking necessarily to an action scene, which they has those two, which I'll get into later when I'm talking about like how, you know, this movie felt like just like a lot of closure. This movie just hit on all levels, bro. Like, I couldn't ask for any more, bro. Like, a lot of times I just was like left speechless. Like, this joint really felt like real life. And I know that's crazy to say because it's a movie, right? People don't have spider powers, but like, I was just super immersed in what I was witnessing. So that joint was so fire. I know I talked a lot about like just some of the fights and things like that, but from a plot standpoint, you know, I think the initial premise for this movie and, you know, everybody finding out that, you know, Peter Parker is Spider-Man was dope, right? Because it gave us our first real big problem, right? And because to me, what the previous two Spider-Man movies was missing was just that feeling that everything is on the line right now. And I know like Mysterio had these big spectacles and, you know, those drones going crazy, but it never really felt like, yo, like everything is about to break. With the addition of Doctor Strange, with the addition of Venom, with the addition of all these different villains that came from different universes and all the Spider-Man, like, bro, it just felt like the whole world just opened up. And I can't recall many moments in, you know, just me watching movies where I really felt like, you know, the stakes. There's so much nostalgia and so much built up tension over the years of just, you know, watching these movies growing up and understanding the situation that, you know, they're in right now, that you get moments where I'm sitting here in the seat about to cry because Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was able to save MJ, because in his universe he wasn't able to save Gwen. And to have a moment where MJ is falling from the new Statue of Liberty, which got like, you know, the Captain American shield on it now, which is something that's appeared in a lot of different things, but that's aside the point. But to see her fall, we're watching this all go down in slow motion, like we're all watching this happen. And I'm like, yo, ain't no way she go out like this. Ain't no way, bro. They can't do this again. Here comes Andrew Garfield, bro. Saves the day. And we're sitting here left with this moment, bro. He's crying. She is crying. And it's just like, yo, I did it. Like, you know, these closure moments that we get. Or take, for instance, when Tom Holland stopped holding back when he was fighting up against Green Goblin. Like, he wasn't throwing his punches. He was ready to end him. But Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man steps in, looks him in his eyes, and like, yo, like, I've been down this road. Literally with this same person, right? And I ain't even start talking about Green Goblin yet, but it's just like, yo, like Green Goblin was the best villain in this movie. I think that just the actor's ability to really embody the character, it felt like we haven't skipped a beat. It felt like it was just yesterday when I was hearing this laugh, where I was waiting for those suspenseful moments to happen with, you know, just his slick sleight of hand to his overall need to create chaos, bro. It was amazing. It almost brought me to tears a couple times, right? Because it's just like, yo, ain't no way, like ain't no way he just gonna be that bad, bruh. And like, as I'm watching it, seeing his mannerisms, seeing just the broken man that Osborn was at the end of like the original Spider-Man movie, and seeing it in real time in 2021, it hit different, bro. Because this is also like a personality disorder, bro. Like, I could see the switch up, right? I saw the moment where it's like, okay, now we're back in Green Goblin mode. And after that, it was just like a chain reaction. And it's like, okay, let's get back to business, right? To speak now on the hero side, as far as like just between the Spider-Man, man, originally I thought, you know, and had my doubts on Tom Holland. I've talked about it on this channel like the week before this movie came out, where he was talking about like, yeah, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be Spider-Man forever. I was just sitting here like, yo, we can replace Tom Holland easy. Like, we can recast him, do a time skip, and everything be Gucci. But now, bro, nah, bro, he's the best Spider-Man. Because for me, like I was saying a little bit earlier, one of my biggest gripes with Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that, you know, he hasn't really dealt with a lot of loss, right? Because even though you know, he had such admiration for Tony and he was super hurt when he passed. It was still kind of like a loss from a distance, right? He didn't know Tony that long. Obviously, like, you know, he was his role model growing up, but it's nothing like losing Uncle Ben. When we initially saw Tony Stark die in Endgame, I wasn't super sad for Peter. Like, I mean, I was sad in general for myself. I'm like, yo, no way this just happened, bro. I was hurt. But when you lose Aunt May, when you lose the number one person like in your life, like your last piece of family, that's gonna hit different, bro. And I felt like before this movie, Tom Holland never had one of those moments where we could actually see how good of an actor he is. And he freaking knocked this thing out the park, bro. I was ready. Just me thinking about it right now, I'm not ready for it. Like, because it wasn't just about losing Aunt May, right? But it was just the way that the people around him embraced him after the fact and continued to still instill confidence in what he's doing and was able to relay their experiences, because, you know, for them, it was their Uncle Ben that they lost. It was Uncle Ben who told them, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. So when they were all able to connect on that moment, I was just like, oh gosh, this joint is elite. This joint is elite. Movie of the year. This joint go crazy. And the other moment was, you know, pretty much at the end where he had to let everybody in his life go. Nobody was going to be able to remember Peter Parker. Nobody was going to know that he was Spider-Man. They wasn't even going to be friends anymore. Like, not only did he lose his girl, but he also lost his best friend, yo. Like, they just get to live their life together with Peter on the sidelines. Like, that's probably like one of the most selfish things that you could do. And that's what makes Peter a great Spider-Man, bro. And I just love this movie so much, man. I don't have anything else that I could really say. I mean, I could probably keep talking for, you know, a whole nother hour. That's why I got this podcast dropping this week where, you know, me and the homie Chris are discussing the movie. But, you know, this genre was great, bro. And I'm giving it a 98 out of 100 G-File score. Definitely most likely movie of the year, and I just can't wait to see it again, bro. So that's all I got for this episode of the G-Files, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what y'all thought of the movie in the comment section below, and I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next one, man. Y'all be easy, you know the vibes. Always keep growing, so you're going to see your boy G. I'm gone. Peace.